Hey everyone, not too long ago I did this 3D printed wheel project on the Hot Wheels Koenigsegg Gemera. I think for Hot Wheels it's quite good. Obviously it's not going to have all the details, but it's a pretty good casting. But I like this car in real life enough that I think it's worth upgrading. So let's get this out of the way for now and introduce the good old HKM version. They had other colors long before, but I decided to get this orange one. Although I couldn't actually find any photos of a real Gemera in orange. But these cars are so expensive, I guess it can come in any color that you would want. I have a few other video, at least one other video on HKM, maybe more than that. This is not a licensed product. It's one of these fly-by-night operations, so this model might not be here next year if you catch this video late. I bought this locally at my local dealer. Man, gotta get the knife. Everyone always asks, these are AliExpress knives I always show in my videos. They're just cheap, short, small knives. Nothing special to them, but I think they're worth the money. I'm not gonna really talk about the car. I talked about it in the Hot Wheels video, but it's the basics of it. This is a 4-seater supercar. Because Koenigsegg doesn't make anything that's not a supercar. This is a pretty tight cover. It's got 2 friction tabs on each side there. Those long sides, that is. Alright, let's start with it on the stand, because I'm going to get my fingerprints all over if I don't. So it's got a photo etched metal base plate here. There's no limited edition or anything like that. I don't really care about that stuff anyways. I just want a good model. I don't care if a million other people have the same model, you know. Just make as many as you want. Just make it a good model. Alright, form factor wise, you'll have to decide if that looks like that photo there. This photo's from the official website of Koenigsegg. Roof line. That's pretty good. The roof is pretty good. Yeah, the front end. No, yeah, that's a pretty good rendition. And then the rear view. One thing I didn't notice on the Hot Wheels is the exhausts are up here. And the Hot Wheels is clear plastic, so I didn't even realize that because the Hot Wheels was clear. But this model is, fixing that problem. Crazy doors, a really funky trunk. Alright, this metallic orange is pretty nice. It's definitely a metallic for sure. I like it. Oh, we got some printing here. Let me zoom in on this. It looks pretty clean. Yeah, well, no, I don't know about that A. That A might be messed up there. There's some black paint in this vent here, so that's a nice touch to have. I think it's a lot of other brands like TLV wouldn't put any paint in there at all. Look at their Ferraris. There's no black paint in the side vents of their Ferraris. So I don't like that brand, except for the classic cars I do like. Yeah, a little dimple there. I don't know why that would be there. I don't see it on the photographs. This wheel, yeah, it's no complaints. It looks like the photographs. It has a yellow center cap. It's got yellow calipers. The tire itself is nicely rounded, and then the printing on it is pretty concentric. Sure, that's not the greatest, but this isn't a super expensive model, so I'm okay with it. And then the tire tread blocks aren't too rough. I wish they were smoother though. There's no reason to see these side blocks at all. And then the way it fills in the gap is pretty tight, so that's good. This mirror, is it rubbery? No, that's a rigid mirror. I don't even know if it's a mirror. It might be a rear view camera. On the real car, I think it's sticking out more this way. Or it's lower, for sure. I wonder if it wasn't pegged in far enough. It's almost like it shouldn't have this vertical part. It should almost start right where this angle begins. That should be touching the body. But it's a model. I guess it'd be hard. It would be to have this put in at an angle. The mold would have to change significantly to do that. So I think it's just that this mirror wasn't pushing that hole enough. There's black, I guess, back in here, and that little vent detail, so that's nice as well. Yeah. The construction of this model looks like this is a separate piece from this side. I mean, there's a gap there, so interesting. The rear tire, it's actually like scraping up in here. It's so tight. It might be a little too tight. And this caliper's in the wrong position. If you look back up to the side photo, this caliper should be up here, or like the 2 o'clock position. So I don't know if this would spin. Don't know. We'll have to see. Alright, so there's black paint here. That seems alright. It looks like there's a little black paint on the window itself. It's got one of these like old DeLorean windows where only this bottom part lowers, I guess. The panel gap seems alright. No black paint in that tiny vent. I guess that's alright. And I'm gonna guess this might be a charge port or a fuel filler. I don't know. Let's go around to the front. There's some sort of, what is this, a vent? Yeah, this is a vent on the real car. I feel like that could have been deeper, or I guess they just put in too much paint. You know, it doesn't look like a vent. It looks like a panel. There's black here for this chin spoiler, and it's kind of coming out. So I think that black might be part of the base. And then this is nice here. It's molded in. I think that's part of the metal casting, this grill detail. But what happened here? Why is there a big smooth triangular thing? I think it didn't. This is not a good particular casting. Or the mold's already gone bad. I don't know. What's going on in there? Hold on. I keep forgetting. I gotta get the tuna can under this phone so the base doesn't force the thing to be close. Let's see if we can get light in there. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be. I mean, the mold, there's no ribs there at all. But maybe that's intentional. Maybe there's a sensor there on the real car. There's also a crease right here. That's interesting. I don't know if that's on the real. It is on the real car, but I think it's probably a graphic on the real car. That's interesting. All right. Now these headlights are so shallow. Are they plastic? I think they are. Yeah, I'm touching this. I think it's quite far away from those details behind. So I think it's just like a bunch of LEDs or something on the real car back there. 1, 2, 3, maybe more, I don't know. This badge is nice, it's like a shiny sticker of some sort. Yeah, it's really shiny. You can really see the nice metallic orange here, it's very good. There's some black detail paint here, that's good. We have a central wiper blade, and it's molded. It's not like just a flat piece of metal or anything, it's a molded piece of plastic, so that's cool. The blackout of the window looks nicely done. This curved windscreen is nice. Yeah, there's some blackout up on this sunroof as well. And then yes, we have this carbon fiber graphic back here. We have a Koenigsegg logo. It's a little offset. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a blemish. Might be a blemish. It's a bump. But the exhaust tips here, yeah, there's some silver. Not the best paint app there. They painted the silver on top of the carbon. This one's a lot better. And then they painted black on top of that. There's actually a Koenigsegg written there in that engine area. And then also some other graphic, maybe a logo. Kind of a plain engine thing. I think it's a 3-cylinder. 1, 2, yeah. But it has 3 electric motors, I believe, as well. And then this tail light here. I think that's just painted. It's not clear. It's painted on top of the surface, like black and pink. Or I guess it's red. It's just my photo booth. It's really bright. There's some black paint in here, and then I'm gonna guess on the real car again. This is a graphic, but they chose to mold it in here. I guess that's fine. You could take like a black, some black paint and add that detail pretty easily. Just add paint and then wipe off the excess afterwards. It's nice to see that there's a license plate. It looks like a decal or something. This carbon graphic this actually might all be a decal, now that I think of it. It's a little bit too silvery though. You know, I kind of expect to see more black than silver, but it seems to be flip-flopped. Like there's more silver showing than black. The grill detail back here is nicely done, and it's all there, unlike the front. And yeah, I think this decal, obviously, it's two pieces, because you can see the orange through it. And then this diffuser is also got this graphic on it, this carbon graphic. Alright. Let's see, this side here. Again, the brake caliper here is too low. It's supposed to be up there. This one is probably okay. Yeah, that one's fine. It's alright, I guess. That doesn't look like a vent. There's also a sensor dimple there. Alright, let's take it off the stand. There's nothing sensitive on this thing, so we'll take a look at the interior. But if you want to know if you can see the interior, it's pretty hard to do with such a shallow window. There's clearly some yellow going on in there, so that's nice. Yeah, it's nice that they painted it yellow so you can actually see some stuff without having to take it apart. Alright, it's weird. No. Well, I guess because it's not a licensed product, they don't have HKM molded into the bottom of this. There's probably some factory making a bunch of illegal castings, and then HKM just approached them and said, hey, we'll take that casting and just make a box and packaging saying that it's HKM. That's interesting. Maybe they're just saving on weight. This seems to be a metal base. It's quite cool to the touch. The treads look pretty modern enough at least. Yeah, those strakes there. I think you gotta really worry about those mirror / cameras. I'm also noticing. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a red brake light, but it's just the orange of the casting. There we go. So there's some there's studs, and I guess it just glued the windows around those studs. Interesting. But the top glass, oh, it has two little like flanges holding there. Interesting. Alright, whoa, this is a lot cooler than I thought it was gonna be, this interior. Sadly, the design of the car doesn't let you see much of it. So you got this screen, giant TV screen almost, at the Gemera, the yellow in the outline of the logo. All this yellow paint looks good. This is a texture. Interesting. It's painted. I thought it was a decal at first, but no, this is three-dimensional. So that's actually a pretty awesome interior. I like it. It's not a, you know, there are no decals. It should look good for a long time. Alright. Now, kind of wondering about these brakes though. Let's see, this is the front one. So you got the tab keeping them from spinning. But I'm wondering if it reorient these calipers to a proper location. Pretty plain here. Alright. So you'll see on the side here, one is for the axle and the other is for the brake rotor. Let's see if are these wheels staggered? I think they're the same size. The axle's the same width. No, the tires are wider in the rear, but the diameter seems to be the same. Alright, so this is the front set. And I'm going to try to get those tabs here. Like that. So the brake should not... There's so much friction, this is not going to roll on a Hot Wheels track, ever. Yeah. Alright, so I want to leave that like that. Now this rear one. those tires are definitely scraping that plastic quite a bit. They're still kind of in the down position. I don't know. These are poorly designed brakes. They just put this tab in the wrong location. What if I flip it? I don't think it would make a difference, but maybe it will. Maybe it just has to be flipped over. I'm not thinking that far ahead, but I messed up the front already. Well, let's just see if this works here. Oh yeah, so you just gotta flip over the axle. So that's the way the photograph shows the brake caliper in that position. So I'm glad that worked out. Alright, I'll finish this up, hold on. So the Hot Wheels seems a bit wider, but it's not as long. Here's the top view. But you'll see, as I mentioned, I had no idea the exhausts were on the top because this is just a clear window where the exhausts are. So it's interesting that I learn about real things by collecting toys. Let's take a look at another Koenigsegg. This is by Tarmac Works Global. That's removable rear panel. Sadly, Tarmac Works doesn't choose to, at least on this. Oh, never mind. It does tell you. It's a Gemera RS. Alright. So being a two-seater, it's logical that this would be a lot smaller than a four-seater. I'm going to clear these metallic models out. Well, actually I do have another. This is an HKM, the Jesco, I see. I knew I had an HKM. And so that's an alright model as well. It's I would say it's on par with this as far as the overall finish and quality of it. So not bad. Not bad. This is a Koenigsegg 1 by VMB. So this is, I believe, a resin model. At least the price indicates that it's a plastic model. And actually, it is resin. You can just tell, well, I can tell by the details. Look how thin the door cuts are on this. Look how wide they are on the metal casting. So this is plastic, and that's why it has tighter details. It also has photo etched metal wing struts here. They're so thin, it's crazy. It also has the super thin headlight covers. And the last one is actually one of my first resin models, I think. This is the Regera, and the brand, I guess, is Avant Style. And that one was pretty good too. Not 100% perfect, but pretty darn good. I got both of these resin ones off AliExpress, but I don't know if you're gonna find that Regera. They just don't make many resin models, and this might still be out there in a different colorway. Well, HKM did a good job on this, I think. I don't think I saw any quality control problems, like the casting itself. No major gouges. Maybe I don't know, there's that one little bump there, but maybe that's there on purpose. Nothing majorly distracting, you know. The only, I guess, issue would be maybe the carbon fiber decal back there could have been a little bit better. But I don't think you'd be able to print on all those surfaces that deep either, so I don't know. Could have been, oh, one issue was the grill. It's definitely missing some areas, but luckily it's black, so you generally wouldn't notice it unless you're taking a camera to it. So anyways, I like HKM. Hopefully they'll continue making some cool castings, and hopefully I'll get them and review them. See you then.